Unpermitted electrical work can pose safety hazards, such as electrical fires or shocks. You could be held liable for any accidents or injuries resulting from unpermitted work. Potential buyers will likely require an electrical inspection and could request permits before purchasing a home with unpermitted electrical work. Many insurance policies may not cover damage resulting from unpermitted electrical work. There are several options to consider. Firstly, you can permit everything. This ensures compliance with electrical codes, enhances safety, and protects your liability. However, it can be expensive and time-consuming. Secondly, you can permit garage circuits only. This addresses the unpermitted work in the garage, ensuring safety and compliance. The downside is that it still leaves the unpermitted work in the basement unresolved and may not address all electrical issues. Thirdly, you can skip permits and leave it for the next owner. This avoids the cost and hassle of permits, but potentially compromises safety, could hinder resale value, and opens you up to liability. It is recommended to obtain a permit for all electrical work. This ensures compliance with codes, protects your safety and liability, and prevents future issues. Explain this situation to the electrician who will do the work. They can assess the existing electrical system and recommend the necessary upgrades to bring it up to code. This may involve replacing old wires, installing additional receptacles, and upgrading circuit breakers to meet current electrical standards. Factor in the cost and timeline for obtaining permits and completing the necessary electrical work. Contact local authorities for specific requirements and fees. Be prepared for the possibility of delays if significant upgrades are needed. When upgrading electrical systems, it's crucial to understand the implications of unpermitted work. Unpermitted installations, while seemingly a way to save time and money upfront, can lead to significant problems down the line. These problems range from safety hazards to legal and financial repercussions. An unpermitted electrical installation means that the work was not inspected by local authorities to ensure it meets current safety standards and built-in codes. This lack of oversight can result in substandard wiring, overloaded circuits, and improper grounding, all of which increase the risk of electrical fires, shocks, and equipment damage. The potential for electrical fires is a serious concern. Faulty wiring, loose connections, and overloaded circuits can generate excessive heat, igniting nearby flammable materials. Without proper safety measures such as arc fault circuit interrupters, or FCIs, and ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, these hazards can go undetected until it's too late. Electrical shocks are another significant risk. Improper grounding can cause electrical current to flow through unintended paths, such as metal appliances or plumbing, posing a shock hazard to anyone who comes into contact with them. GFCIs are designed to prevent these shocks by quickly detecting and interrupting the flow of electricity when a ground fault occurs. In addition to the immediate safety risks, unpermitted electrical work can create long-term problems. Overloaded circuits can cause appliances and equipment to malfunction, reducing their lifespan and increasing energy consumption. Substandard wiring can degrade over time, leading to intermittent electrical problems and the need for costly repairs. Furthermore, unpermitted work can create legal and financial liabilities. If a fire or other electrical incident occurs as a result of unpermitted work, the property owner may be held liable for damages and injuries. Insurance companies may deny coverage for losses resulting from unpermitted work, leaving the property owner to bear the full financial burden. When considering upgrading or renewing a basement bedroom, it's essential to address any existing unpermitted electrical work. Ignoring these issues can create safety hazards, increase liability, and reduce the value of the property. The best course of action is to obtain the necessary permits and hire a qualified electrician to bring the electrical system up to code. Obtaining permits ensures that the electrical work is inspected and meets current safety standards. This provides peace of mind knowing that the electrical system is safe and reliable. A qualified electrician can assess the existing electrical system, identify any deficiencies, and recommend the necessary upgrades. This may involve replacing old wiring, adding new circuits, installing GFCIs and FCIs, and upgrading the electrical panel. Bringing the electrical system up to code not only enhances safety, but also increases the value of the property. Potential buyers are more likely to be interested in a property with a safe and compliant electrical system. In addition to addressing existing unpermitted work, it's important to plan for future electrical needs. Consider the number of receptacles, lighting fixtures, and appliances that will be used in the basement bedroom. Ensure that the electrical system has sufficient capacity to handle these loads without overloading circuits. When adding new circuits, it's essential to use the correct wire gauge and circuit breaker size. The wire gauge must be appropriate for the amperage of the circuit. Using undersized wiring can cause overheating and increase the risk of fire. The circuit breaker size must be appropriate for the wire gauge and the load on the circuit. Using an oversized circuit breaker can allow excessive current to flow, damaging the wiring and increasing the risk of fire. In the specific case of adding two new 15-amp circuits to the garage, it's essential to obtain permits and follow proper wiring practices. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed guidelines for wiring garages. These guidelines include requirements for GFCI protection, receptacle spacing, and lighting. GFCI protection is required for all 125 volts, 15 and 20 amp receptacles in garages. This is to prevent electrical shocks in damp or wet locations. Receptacles must be spaced no more than 12 feet apart along walls. This ensures that extension cords are not needed to reach power outlets. Lighting fixtures must be installed at least 8 feet above the floor. This is to prevent accidental contact with live electrical parts. When wiring the new circuits, it's essential to use the correct wire gauge and circuit breaker size. For 15-amp circuits, 14 American wire gauge, or AUG, copper wire is typically used. A 15-amp circuit breaker should be used to protect the circuit. When making connections, it's essential to use approved wiring methods and connectors. Wire nuts are commonly used to connect wires together. They must be properly sized and tightened to ensure a secure connection. Electrical tape can be used to insulate connections and protect them from moisture. It's important to use electrical tape that is specifically designed for electrical applications. When working with electrical systems, it's essential to follow safety precautions. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on it. Use insulated tools to prevent electrical shocks. Wear safety glasses to protect your eyes from flying debris. If you are not comfortable working with electrical systems, hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Attempting to do electrical work without proper knowledge and experience can be dangerous. In addition to safety and compliance, it's important to consider the resale value of the property. Unpermitted electrical work can negatively impact the resale value. Potential buyers may be concerned about the safety and compliance of the electrical system. They may also be hesitant to purchase a property with unpermitted work, fearing that they will be responsible for correcting it. Obtaining permits and bringing the electrical system up to code can increase the resale value of the property. It demonstrates that the electrical system is safe, compliant, and well maintained. This can make the property more attractive to potential buyers and increase its market value. When considering whether to obtain permits for electrical work, it's important to weigh the costs and benefits. The costs of obtaining permits include the permit fees, the cost of hiring an electrician, and the time it takes to complete the work. The benefits of obtaining permits include enhanced safety, increased liability protection, and increased resale value. In most cases, the benefits of obtaining permits outweigh the costs. Obtaining permits ensures that the electrical work is done safely and correctly, protects the property owner from liability, and increases the value of the property. It's also important to consider the long-term implications of unpermitted work. While it may seem like a way to save money in the short term, it can lead to significant problems down the line. These problems can include safety hazards, legal liabilities, and reduced resale value. In conclusion, when upgrading or renewing a basement bedroom, it's essential to address any existing unpermitted electrical work. Obtain the necessary permits, hire a qualified electrician, and bring the electrical system up to code. This will enhance safety, protect liability, and increase the value of the property.